Yo, what's up, team? Check. Mic check if I'm talking. Well, hold on. I have some notes, actually, that I just wrote down. Stuff that I've been thinking about. God has given me the gift to be a CEO and a founder of a company that's growing well with an incredible team. We've got 30 full-time employees, I think it is. We've got 15 to 40 different temp workers in the warehouse here. We've got a network of partners that we work with across the world. It's really cool to see what God has thrown upon me in a way that I feel that I am genuinely feel not really worthy of in a lot of ways. And so it scares the dog out of me. It really does. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of gratefulness and thankfulness. And when I think about my title as a CEO, and then I think about who I am as a Christian and a child of God, the skill set and the gifts that God has given me and the position He's given me, there's a pressure to be at a higher standard. There's more eyeballs on you, like there really is. The Bible talks about teachers having more responsibility. It talks about leadership in ways too. For example, I don't hardly drink alcohol much at all. Part of the reason is because there's a Bible verse, Proverbs 31. It says, kings and leaders should stay away from alcohol lest they forget the laws and decrees of the land. And we'll pop that verse up in there as well. So the same way, there's a lot of leaders that don't drink alcohol, and there's ones that you can look at. Donald Trump's one of those, doesn't drink. Patrick Bet-David, I think, barely drinks anything. There's other guys out there that don't drink alcohol, and a lot of it is because they want to be on point and sharp 24/7, which I totally agree. You don't want to be caught off guard. And so I understand that. The more leadership you get, the more responsibility you get, the more sacrifices you have to make. And so you have to live to a higher level. You have to live above reproach in every single way. If you're a Christian and you have values, to live above reproach means a lot more than just to do what's right. It is an extreme level of accountability. An extreme level of self-accountability, and that requires not only your self-accountability, but what you truly believe in, your faith and your values. And then on top of that, it requires you to build an incredible core team around you. People that are the closest to you in your company and in your family are going to be very few and very far between. Those people are going to be all in. They're going to be ride or die type people. They're going to have the same values as you, same faiths as you, hopefully, the same beliefs. They're ride or die. They're close. It's a pack. They're in it till the end. Whether the company skyrockets to success or falls on its face in embarrassment, that core team is impeccable to your own level of accountability. Because when you get there and you continue to grow, people always talk about it's lonely at the top. As a Christian, it's not lonely. God is always with you. So there's a different feeling. I don't feel lonely ever. But what it is that you got to make sure the right people are around you, because there's a natural level of accountability that'll be there, because they're living to high standards too. They're driving you. They're building it as well. So living above reproach. Having extreme patience as well to be a Christian CEO, extreme patience. And the way that works is that your mindset isn't financial necessarily. Your mindset isn't the goal of this. The mindset is a kingdom mindset. You're always working to build God's kingdom in heaven, not necessarily your kingdom down here with revenue numbers or financial goals or profitability and all these things. So the decisions you make are going to be although you need to steward financially well what God has called us to do and biblically designed, your decisions you make might be different than what other businesses might make to focus on the bottom line. You might care more about a person in the work environment, whether they made a $20,000 mistake or not. You care more about them there than it would be to worry about the $20,000 that costs you, your $1 million, your revenue goal, whatever it may be, because you're worried about that person's heart and how that's going to pour into them for a kingdom eternal mindset, which is a very different thing. So forgiveness, extreme patience, extreme forgiveness. And you really are only getting that from being a Christian and by having the Holy Spirit indwell inside it. It's a sanctification process. So being a Christian CEO, it's that perspective of a kingdom-minded goal rather than just a short-term minded goal of a 10-year goal, whatever it is, to do 100 million in revenue or whatever that goal may be. Also the mistakes that people made that affect those goals. Your mindset is much bigger than having whatever goals here on earth, because your goal is for God's kingdom, not necessarily here. Having that perspective gives you extreme patience, which is awesome.
My bad, guys. That was the most rookie embarrassing. Nobody knows that except for this call and Sansing. That's it. So we go. Yeah, thanks. Cool. Love it. I love Love it, dude.
100% of the time. This is awesome. The way we do that 100% of the time, we actually like to work with our customer suppliers.
Some of the other things that I think about in being a Christian CEO is asking the right questions. That doesn't mean business questions, what I'm saying. I'm talking about asking the right questions with people and caring about them, seeing how they're doing. Our most important asset is people. It really is. Regardless of AI, regardless of robotics, people are your most important asset, 100%. People are made in God's image. They are extremely valuable. So people are gonna have good and bad days. People are gonna have things going on at home that are gonna affect their mood at work. There's gonna be personalities, there's gonna be things that clash, there's gonna be conflict. Ask the right questions at the right time and make sure your people that you're leading, the people that you're with you, that you're building this team with, make sure they know that you have their back, that you care about them. It's critical. It's extremely important that these people know that their leader cares about them, even past the office. And what that does for you as a Christian CEO, that is going to give you opportunities to exemplify your lifestyle following Christ, which hopefully by your actions and your deeds will point them to a way that they can see God's love in such a way that they would hopefully accept God's love. So living that out, asking the right questions, keeping it personal. My grandmother talked about keeping it personal for years. Handwritten notes, doing those extra above and beyond things. We can talk about business all you want, but if you don't have the eternal mindset of a Christian person in career, if you don't have a Christian eternal perspective, none of this, even what I'm talking about, even matters. It doesn't, because then there's nothing to build from. But if you're a Christian and you're working in a career, building a career path, having a kingdom mindset is more influential and more impactful for why you do business and why you lead the business that God is giving you, or the opportunity you're in, the job you're in, whatever it is, entrepreneur, intrapreneur, whatever that type role is. If you're a Christian, you have a responsibility to do everything you can to live to a higher standard, to what God's standard is for your life, so that your lifestyle and your actions, when you ask these questions and you care about these people's lives, will hopefully point them towards Christ. And this last piece here I'll touch on is being present. For me, it's difficult, right? It really is. It's hard to be present. And I don't mean just being present necessarily always off your phone or whatever it is. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're running a company, be physically present with people. I think video calls are great. All these things are great. We have a few remote employees here, a few remote team members that work remote. We try to get them present as much as we can so we can be around them doing conferences. But everybody's here. I want to show up as much as I can. Even though they don't need me out there in the warehouse or operating anymore, they don't need me to operate. They don't need me to pack order. They don't need me to do receiving anymore. I don't have to. And they do a great job out there of it. But just showing up, walking the floor, there's something about it when your team is able to be around their leader in a way. You're the leader. You're leading these people. To accept that responsibility that God's giving you is be physically present. Be willing to be on the floor with them. Buy them lunch occasionally. Ask those questions and be around it and care about them. And then communicate that vision. With no vision, no vision, the people perish, right? So having a vision that comes from the Lord for where the vision's going to go. Take your footsteps are directed by the Lord. Without vision, the people perish. So pray for vision, get vision, set aside time for that vision. And then when you have that vision, communicate it often. And often doesn't mean once a week. Often means almost every day to different people across the entire company. Because when you don't communicate that vision, even though you don't do it intentionally, you're holding something back sometimes that other people might not be receiving as a gift from God. So you have an opportunity there as a leader, man. You have an opportunity you have to live to a higher standard. You have to hold yourself accountable. You also have to surround yourself with people that are at that level, that are all in, that are ride or die, that are going to naturally hold you accountable. Same value, same faith, things like that as well. You have to have extreme patience and also as you build your core team out, extreme patience as well when people make mistakes, because you have to have that kingdom mindset of where you're actually headed. It's not about the money, it's not about the mistakes, it's the kingdom mindset of that person and what they care about and who they are. That doesn't mean you keep people around that are dragging the company down. That's bad. What I'm saying is care about how you handle that situation, that person, more than you care about the dollar bills. Ask the right questions. Care about those people in their home office or their family, whatever it is. Keep it personal, and then be physically present as well. Be present emotionally, but physically there with your team is massive. So those are things that I look at as a Christian CEO. That's the type of lifestyle that I try to live out. By no means am I perfect. And by the way, Not everybody's meant in certain world. Everybody's different gifts. So this may not apply to everybody. But if you're honest with yourself, if you're working and you are a Christian, you are definitely called to a higher standard. And it's not easy. God does not promise an easy life. Nowhere in the Bible does he say it's going to be an easy life. In fact, it talks a theme much harder than that. So you have to be willing to take that and step up for that. And so wherever you are, it's hold yourself to a higher standard. Live above reproach, whatever that looks like. If you have to cut alcohol, cut alcohol. If you have to stop cussing, stop cussing. Simple things. I'm not saying everything, just little stuff. That's like, this could do something better in your life that would be more peaceful and present in front of people, that would exhibit the joy and the peace that the Holy Spirit can bring upon somebody and what Jesus has done in people's lives, that would hopefully show them in such a way that they can experience that as well. So that's what we're trying to do. When you live above reproach, that's what you're doing. And you do these other things, you're applying it. God gives you the opportunity, gives you the blessings, gives you the skill set, puts you in a position. The reason you're there is not for yourself. The reason you're there is to glorify God. Every person is made in God's image, and that's something we can never forget. Signing off today's vlog. A lot going on, man. It's been crazy good. All the pieces are coming together. We just got to keep hustling. One of the most important things in business is like speed to market. Like, you don't want to be the perfectionist. You want to be the one that gets to market and learns and tweaks and grows with your customers, typically, like most of the time. So for us right now, it's like drive. You know, get all the stuff done, get projects live, get things going, serve with the baseline of excellence that we have on operations, and then just get the team, get the systems dialed, and keep moving. So we keep things moving fast. That's what the team's been crushing today. Just been trying to lead that, keep that vision clear, and then move to that vision as fast as you can, and just keep showing up every day. Traction. Let's go. Kapow!